Hi guys, it's me. Today we're taking a closer look at something that blends a really interesting mix of old school design and modern tech, the Speaker High Volume Retro Sound System, also described as an old-fashioned small home smart sound system. Now, at first glance, this thing immediately catches your eye because it's not your typical minimalist, futuristic Bluetooth speaker. It's got that classic, retro aesthetic, wood grain finishes, physical knobs for volume and tuning, and a boxy, almost vintage look that's actually really charming in person. It feels like something you'd see in a mid-century living room, which is kind of refreshing in a market where everything is sleek, black, and very similar. But of course, looks aren't everything. What really matters is what's under the hood. This speaker is surprisingly versatile. First off, it's loud, and I mean genuinely high volume output that can fill a small to medium-sized room without distorting the audio. There's a nice punchy low end that doesn't overwhelm. Mids are clear, and the highs are crisp enough that vocals and instruments feel distinct. I played a mix of different tracks, some classic rock, a little jazz, some modern pop, and honestly, it handled everything well. The bass isn't going to rattle a wall like a subwoofer, but for a retro-style home speaker, it's definitely impressive. One of the things I really like about this system is how it balances vintage charm with modern convenience. A lot of retro speakers either look cool but sound average, or they sound good but don't have the connectivity features we expect today. This one hits both. You've got physical knobs and switches for volume, power, and tuning, which gives you that tactile retro feel, but you also get smart home integration and wireless connectivity. Bluetooth pairing is straightforward, and you can connect your phone, tablet, or even a laptop in just a few seconds. There's also an aux input, so if you're someone who still enjoys wired connections or has older devices, you're covered there too. Another point that stands out is its portability within the home. I wouldn't take this to a park or beach, it's not designed for outdoor portability. But it's a perfect fit for a living room, bedroom, or office. It's small enough to fit on a shelf, but substantial enough to make an impression when it's on. It really works as both a functional speaker and a statement piece. If you've got a modern interior, it can add a touch of warmth and character that most modern speakers don't offer. The build quality is solid. It doesn't feel cheap or flimsy, and the materials actually contribute to the sound experience. The wood finish isn't just cosmetic, it subtly shapes the acoustics, giving it a richer, fuller sound compared to plastic-only enclosures. The speaker grills are well designed too, letting sound come through without muffling it, while maintaining that vintage look. Now, let's talk about practical usability. This isn't just about sound or aesthetics. The speaker is smart enough to integrate with your existing setup if you're using a smart home ecosystem. You can control it via your phone or even voice commands if your home supports it. That's pretty convenient for everyday use. You don't need to walk over to the speaker and twist knobs if you're streaming music while cooking or working. For those who like hands-free control, this is a solid plus. Battery life and power are worth mentioning too. For a device of this size, it doesn't overheat and it maintains consistent volume output even over longer listening sessions. If you're using it plugged in, it's essentially limitless, but if there's a battery-powered variant, you're looking at hours of uninterrupted playback. This makes it perfect for parties, casual listening, or even just background music while you work. In terms of design philosophy, what's interesting here is that it's unapologetically retro without feeling outdated. Sometimes retro speakers can look gimmicky or overly nostalgic, but this one manages to feel timeless. The balance of wood, metal, and minimalist styles gives it a premium feel, which makes it something you'd actually want to display, not hide in a cabinet. It's like bringing a bit of history into your modern living space. When I compare it to other speakers in the market, this one carves out its